Good Monday evening, everyone. It is another edition of Weather for Weather Geeks. Hope you had a good weekend. Our weekend ended on a really nice note yesterday, and today was even better. 64 degrees. Our high this afternoon, 15 degrees above the average. And we're going to have more above average temperatures for a couple of days before some changes towards the end of the week and the weekend. We'll talk about those changes coming up later in the video. First of all, the weather situation for tonight. Tonight will turn out to be a little bit cloudier, some high clouds streaming in. But overall, still, of course, a dry night, a pleasant night. Looks like rain wants to head our way. Let me let the radar loop animate for you here. But this is running into a wall of dry air across most of Ohio and western PA. So I expect this rain to continue shriveling up as we go into the overnight for tonight. In the meantime, we've got a blockbuster system out here across the Plain States. Let me stop the loop here. You got a wild situation unfolding across the High Plains this evening with a bunch of tornado watches and then a lot of severe thunderstorm and tornado warnings. And it's begun to snow in Denver, where they're expecting blizzard conditions tonight with a foot of snow and winds whipping to 60 miles per hour. It's just going to be nasty in Colorado tonight. But some of these storms have been pretty impressive here at 7:35 Eastern. You've got a pretty good signature, a tornado signature on this cell. Out in, this one is in Texas, yeah, just east of Amarillo, Texas. Nice couplet right here of greens and reds, so you got a tight circulation right there. You got the circulation being picked up on the radar right here. That looks pretty impressive. Look at that debris ball as well. When you look at a product called correlation coefficient on Doppler radars, you can pick out debris ball signatures. When you see that blue in a sea of red, that's a classic debris ball signature. So that's definitely a tornado on the ground here at 7:35 Eastern in Texas. All right, not going to spend a lot of time on the present weather because most of you are watching this well afterwards, and the information can become a little bit outdated. So let's talk about our weather as we go into midweek. I think tomorrow ends up being a little bit cloudier than today, but still a nice day, and we'll get into the lower 60s tomorrow afternoon. Here's a look at the map for tomorrow midday. You've got our blockbuster storm out across Kansas with heavy snow in parts of Colorado and Nebraska. Showers and thunderstorms lining up west of the Mississippi River, and some rain in Chicago. But we stay dry tomorrow, all thanks to this high, which is keeping the rain at bay for the time being. So Tuesday, a warm day, just a little bit cloudier. When does it rain? I think it's late Wednesday. So here's midday Wednesday, still not raining. As this system, what we call occludes, and heads up into Canada, the cold front, the forward progress is really going to slow to a crawl. So it's going to take until probably Wednesday evening after sunset before the rain pushes in. Here's the NAM model Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. with some rain pushing in at that point. And the rain will probably continue for a good chunk of the night. The NAM's a little bit fast here. The GFS is a little slower. But when most people are getting up and around Thursday morning, the rain is either has ended or is just about to end first thing Thursday morning, which is right. Let's go back here to Thursday morning. Here you go. I'm a day behind again. Here we go. There's Thursday morning. The rain is pushed out to the east. Now that's the first front. There's going to be a secondary front that pivots down Thursday afternoon and reinforces the cooler air. Notice the snow up here in parts of Minnesota. All right, so behind the second front, Friday is an uneventful day, just chilly to wrap up the week. And then what happens over the weekend? Well, there's some model disagreement, as you might expect. But here's the GFS suggesting that as we get into Saturday, which is the 21st, you have a front pushing through the region. And this could be kind of a mix of rain and snow for a while, but the GFS then changes everything over to just snow showers by midday, at as early as midday. Now, I think that's probably fast, and some of the modeling doesn't really support this at all, but it's interesting nonetheless that the GFS shows this band of snow pushing through during the course of Saturday and perhaps into Saturday night. Some lake effect could try to get going. We could be dealing with flurries and snow showers and maybe some small accumulations north of I-80 into Sunday morning if this particular model has the right idea. Now, again, there's disagreement. Whether it snows or not this weekend, I think the accumulations are going to be pretty minor. Could someone get a couple of inches up in northern Trumbull and Mercer? Sure, that's a possibility. But I think for most of us, this is just, we're going to see snowflakes. Otherwise, probably no big deal. Here's a look at the GFS snow accumulations. Everything here in the grays is under 2 inches. Yeah, you don't find 2 inches until you get into the blue colors. So even the GFS, which is fairly aggressive, really doesn't show much in the way of the snow sticking this weekend. Just a little bit of mood snow, if you will, over the weekend. Now you might run into some weather weenies out there that want to show you the European model, which interestingly enough, the what we call deterministic run of the European model, the one that most people see, has up to 3 inches of snow. That's the blue bar right here. It has up to 3 inches of snow this weekend. But you'll notice, and this is always key when you're looking at an ensemble model, you see me show these things a lot, especially in the winter. Once you get down, once you see these green bars that are much lower than the blue, that means the ensemble version of the European model is much lower in its snow accumulation than the deterministic run, which means the deterministic run of the model is probably out to lunch when it doesn't have it isn't supported by its own ensembles. So that's a big red flag right there. So I think if you run into some weather weenies that want to show you the European, oh look at this, 3-4 inches of snow this weekend. We're not going to buy that right now. All right, the pattern for next week as we go into Thanksgiving. This is pretty interesting. Here's the pattern right now with a ridge popping up over the Great Lakes. That's why it's been warm. Digging trough in the west where we have the severe weather and the snow. Now this trough in the upper low is going to weaken considerably as it comes east. Notice that bowling ball just sort of gets absorbed in the flow by Wednesday evening into Thursday. And then the coldest air mass associated with that is aimed more at Canada rather than us. But then after a little bit of a lull, as we get into the weekend, the trough kind of digs back down into the Great Lakes. So you've got a pretty healthy trough over the lakes this weekend. We may not get out of the 30s either day, Saturday or Sunday. And again, we're going to see some snowflakes here and there over the course of the weekend. Now, as we get into Thanksgiving week, the trough is probably going to be reinforced. So it looks like a pretty chilly week overall. Not super cold, but pretty chilly, below average for a lot of the time. So here's the day before Thanksgiving on Wednesday. You've got a big ridge in the Gulf of Alaska. You've got some troughiness over the Great Lakes and the East Coast, even some troughiness out west as well. Now for Thanksgiving Day, the 26th, the air mass might start to moderate. The models are starting to hint that the west is going to turn pretty cold for Thanksgiving Day and into Black Friday, while the east will start to see a recovery in temperatures. So the overall idea for next week, I think, is that the week starts chilly, and then as we get into Thanksgiving and a little beyond, the pattern may start to relax a little bit, and we may get back to average. Now, as far as rain or snow for your Thanksgiving holiday travel plans, too early to talk about that. This is 9-10 days out. So we'll start talking more about that later on this week. All right, a long weather for Weather Geeks tonight. Lots to talk about. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you tonight on 21 News at 11 o'clock. And you can be sure and check out my weather briefings. They're text updates, not videos, but I do these each morning now on my weather blog, ericwfmj.com. They're usually online by about 9:30 in the morning. So it's a good way to kind of get up, check the weather with your coffee in the morning, and get a detailed breakdown as to what we expect in the coming days. All right, have a great night, everyone.